Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Welcome to New Release Review, part of the Movie Friends podcast. My name is Seth. Today we are talking about The Housemaid from 2025, directed by Paul Feig. Feig.
I think it's Feig, but I don't. That's my guess.
Okay, yeah, I mean, who really knows, you know? Now, we will be discussing spoilers throughout this entire episode, and I'm just going to say it, probably going to be discussing spoilers for the Housemaid book as well and how it compares to the film. So if you do not want either of those things spoiled, just shut the episode off, okay? I won't blame you, whatever. But I don't want to spoil it for you either. So, you know, viewer discretion is advised, or listener discretion, either way. My guest for today is Melissa, and she's a returning guest. Melissa 90s on Letterboxd. Melissa is one of, I would say, two people that I know who's like the go-to 90s movie people. Melissa, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm so happy to be here. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, I want to say thank you. You had reached out to me about doing an episode on The Housemaid.
Yeah.
And I said yes. And I had never heard of this movie.
Oh.
So I'm aware of like everyone involved in this movie, but I had not heard of it until you suggested doing it. And I said yes. And then I did not think about it until I went to see it in theaters. And I was like pretty floored at my experience.
Good.
But before I talk about it, what were your first impressions after finishing watching The Housemaid?
Okay, if I can go back a bit, the reason I reached out to you, you were asking, you know, what are the movies anyone wants to do for the podcast? And I immediately was like, The Housemaid. I was so excited. And the funny thing is, then I found out, oh, it comes out in December. I think we had talked about this like a year ago or something. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to wait like a whole year. I didn't realize, you know, I was so excited. So how I came about even knowing about it was that I saw some article that said Freida McFadden's book, The Housemaid, is being adapted into a movie starring blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, and then I picked up the book, read it, loved it. And I proceeded to read 20 Freida McFadden books. So they're just addictive. Like, this is already a spoiler. They're like addictive psychological thrillers. It's just page turner. So there are 4 books in this series. I've read them all, and I've tried to read almost everything I can get my hands on.
Wow.
So that's why I wanted to do this with you. And then I saw the movie, and you asked me what were my first impressions. My first impressions, after I saw it, I loved it. And I think the reception is a little mixed. And my go-to with this is I always say, if I have read a book and then seen the movie, I tend to always love it. I've had mostly fantastic experiences. And the sad thing is, a lot of times the reception is mixed. The critical reception is mixed. Even sometimes the audience reception is mixed. And I have so many examples of this, but my go-tos are always The Girl on the Train and Something Borrowed. Books I loved, movies I loved. And then all the reviews are just kind of mediocre. And I'm like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. So I loved it. I wasn't sure when I heard the casting because you always read a book and you have an idea in your head.
Right.
But I loved it.
Right. Yeah, I remember way back many years ago when they announced that Ian McKellen would be playing Gandalf. And I remember calling my best friend, and I was like a child. And I was like, that's so great. He'll be so great. But I had no experience with the book. now I kind of went into The Housemaid thinking about Paul Feig.
Yeah.
Now he is in one of my favorite childhood movies,
Oh.
Heavyweights.
Oh, okay. I know you
Yes.
love Heavyweights.
He plays the former former fat counselor who becomes skinny, Tim.
Okay.
And the whole movie they make fun of him for being skinny. If listeners, if you're not aware, there is a film called Heavyweights from the 90s about a fat camp for kids. And as a fat kid in the 90s, it was like my favorite thing in the world. So Paul Feig went on to work with the writer of that movie, Judd Apatow. That was Judd's, I believe it was his first script to get filmed. I could be wrong about that, but one of the first, if not the first. Judd and Paul Feig went on to do Freaks and Geeks, which is like my favorite show of all time. Only lasted one season. Yeah. Again, very formative in my younger years.
Wow.
And
Paul
so,
had a big impact on you.
Yeah. And so when he started directing movies, I was like, cool. And I saw Bridesmaids. I was like, this is great. And then I saw some other ones. I was like, not as great. And I kind of like hopped off of the like, I'm going to see the new Paul Feig movie for a long time. So I have not seen one of his movies since his Ghostbusters movie. I did see that one.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fine, but I should say I don't really like the Ghostbusters movies at all. Like not even the original. I'm like, this is also fine. So when the reception for that one was so tepid, I was like, I don't know. I kind of think they're all not great, but I'm in the real small minority on that one. But anyway, I didn't see have you seen like A Simple Favor?
I think I should have checked before this. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I like a lot of his stuff. I liked A Simple Favor. Did he do the second Simple Favor? I even like that.
He did.
I like
another Simple Favor.
Love both of them, honestly. And the reception for the second one was not great, as it tends to happen with sequels, unfortunately. I still loved it. So I think he did Spy?
He did Spy,
Love Spy. Love Bridesmaids. The only one I think I gave a low review to was Last Christmas. That's my least favorite Paul Feig, but I think I love his movies.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, one of the things I love about doing this show is I watch a lot of movies, a lot of different movies. I like to think that I'm varied in what I watch, but a lot of times guests will bring me movies that I just never would have seen.
Yeah, good.
And no shade to this genre or the actors or himself, but I just would not have taken the time to go see this, I guess. So again, I was really blown away. I wasn't able to see this opening weekend, and so a lot of reviews were coming out and people making comments online and saying like, this kind of sucks. And I was like, oh no. So I went in with really low expectations. And by the end, I was like, this is so much fun and so ridiculous. But not in I'm not like, oh, a little movie. I'm not like patting it on the head. Like, I think it's a well-made movie, genuinely. And it kind of reminded me of like the sexy thrillers from the 90s.
Yeah.
I was glad to see a couple of actual filmed sex scenes in a movie in 2026. I was like, whoa.
Because people complain, like, where are these movies anymore, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I had a ball with it. Like I really enjoyed it. I was laughing.
I'm really glad to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. And hey, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't lie to you.
I know. A lot of times we disagree on things, so I know you're truthful. Yeah.
Okay, so The Housemaid, it's a pretty simple story, but it's told a little bit out of order. My point of reference for like this type of movie and then this type of plot device is going to be Gone Girl.
Yes.
I
had the same thought.
Yeah. So my first question for you is like, from the book to the movie, do you know or do you remember, like, does it do that? where it tells part of the story and then it comes back to when Nina leaves the house and we get like the full picture?
It's been a while, but yes. Yes. So, Freida McFadden, the queen of the psychological thriller novel, my God, she loves this device. And they purely took that from her. They made some slight changes, but it's very much in Frida's style. So, I hope her name is pronounced Freedom. My God, what if it's Freida? I don't know.
Right. Well, Freida, Feig, Freida,
Exactly.
Feig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lots of F's. So you have part 1. Millie gets a job. Then all you know is Millie's point of view. Nina's crazy. Nina's insane. What's going on at this house? Andrew's so perfect. And then you get, bam, part 2. So yes, that was taken straight from the book.
Yeah, I mean, I fell for it. I really did. Some of it was pretty over the top. Like, you know, that first morning when Millie wakes up and Nina is just screaming and she's like, where are they? I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is like, I gotta tell you, I know she needs this job. I know she needs a house. And so I cannot relate to her situation. I can't. I'm just going to say it. But like that happens. I'm like, oh, like you can't talk to me that way. I'm sorry. Like this isn't going to work if this is how you interact with me. What about, like, would you stay after that?
I'm sorry, but just picturing you so calmly being like, oh, this isn't going to work. It's so cute. It's so you. Like, you're so polite. You would just watch that meltdown and be like, oh, I gotta go. But yeah, like, it's showing you the depths of what Millie came out of prison. It's right. Get a job. She's desperate. Would I stay? I don't know. Like, I've dealt with a lot of shit in bad jobs. So I think I would stay. You know, I think I'm pretty bad at knowing when I'm being taken advantage of. It. Sometimes it takes me a while. So day 1 that you'd be out of there, that's great. Good for you. I don't know. I love how assertive you are. Great.
Well, especially after, like, she goes to tour the house and it looks like, you know, a spread out of House Beautiful.
Yes.
And then the next time she shows up, it's like, what on earth is going on? But I will say, like, that messy house. So I used to clean homes for a living.
Yeah.
My sister and I had our own house cleaning company.
Yeah.
And it was on Long Island, where people are very, very wealthy. We used to clean a home that had 9 full bathrooms.
Oh my God.
Every bathroom had a shower and tub, and some of the bathrooms that were on like the main bedrooms were like jacuzzi tubs, you know. But anyway, so really nice places like this house. And I gotta tell you, when she comes back that first day and the house is messy, I was like, this is the most realistic messy house I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like a whole bunch of like Amazon boxes piled in one corner.
Yep.
Like if I could freeze it, I feel like I could actually walk through like the day of not putting things away that led to that mess. So I was impressed with that as a former housemaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hearing your point of view because I knew what was going to happen. And I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. I reread the book in preparation for this. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have let my goldfish memory just watch the movie trying to watch it like a newbie like you did. Because that's so exciting. And I thought they did such a good job with that reveal. One thing I will say, as a woman, one red flag. Who the hell is going to hire Sydney Sweeney to be a live-in maid when you're married to a straight man? No woman would do that. That is the biggest red flag. That Millie should have been like in the book, there's no way they describe Millie as being as hot as Sydney Sweeney. She's just like a blonde woman. You're picturing any woman on the street. You're not putting a body or a face to you're just picturing some typical American woman.
Yeah.
Hire Sydney Sweeney. No woman in their right mind would hire this woman if they had a husband there. So that's the red flag. The other stuff I think is easy to overlook, but you know,
That's funny because I wouldn't think of that at all.
I think women would think, they would be like, what woman in their right mind would put their husband in this situation? Like, that sounds so cynical of me, but just hearing these Hollywood stories of people, sleeping with,
Sure.
whatever, I'm speaking as a single person. I don't know. But yeah, that's the one thing that would make you perk your ears up. The rest, I mean, yeah, people have mental issues. So I think,
Right.
it could happen.
Okay, so on Sydney Sweeney, she plays Millie Calloway. She goes to prison for killing someone now is this like prep school? Is this college?
I
Is
think
this
they
high
take it as
school?
college because you're in and out of dorms. That's a really good question about prep school.
Because they're wearing like uniforms.
That didn't even occur to me. Wow. Because you wouldn't go to prison if you were a kid. So I think she had to be 18 and I think she had to be like a freshman or something. That's my guess based on the fact that she went to actual prison and not juvie or something.
Right. And hey, if you're listening to this and you're like, they say it right in the movie that she's 25 and she's been in prison for 10 years. She was 15. We apologize. I did my best to pay attention.
I'm going to guess 28. That's my
okay.
guess. And I think Nina's supposed to be 40. So I think it kind of makes sense that Millie's like the younger, hotter. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? You just said that Nina is supposed to be 40.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, she can't be 40. She's played by Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, Amanda Seyfried might be 40.
Exact same thing. Because
yeah.
you read a book and you have all these pictures in your mind. Millie's supposed to be younger. You're supposed to picture Nina as old.
Right.
But Nina is probably my age. And Amanda is probably my age. So when you see these glamorous Hollywood young hot people on the screen, you're like, what? Like, same goes for Sydney. Same goes for Andrew. Same goes for Enzo. You picture Andrew as this silver fox when you read the book. Like an older man. Like, what's that guy, John Slattery from Mad Men? You picture that. When I pictured Enzo, I pictured this character actor. I'm going to get his name wrong, but I wrote it down. I pictured a very particular Raymond Cruz. If anyone wants to show the closer.
Yeah, I know who Raymond Cruz is.
A middle-aged, like, Latino guy. So
yeah.
He's supposed to be super sexy, but those guys are sexy sometimes. Instead, they always hire the young, hot Hollywood version of these people. So, yeah. Nina's supposed to be this older woman. I think she's my age. It's like, it blows my mind.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Amanda Seyfried was born in 1985.
Yeah, so she's an older millennial. We're the old people, like.
But people look so much younger than they used to. So, like, it's not even like they were like, hey, find me a young-looking 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Like,
we talked about this before. Remember I showed you, I think, a picture of a supposedly 38-year-old man, and it was like in The Firm, and he had all gray hair. Like,
oh yeah, Michelle and I, almost every episode, Michelle and I will pull out like, by the way, this person is younger than us in this movie, and they look like twice our age. So I know everyone attributes it to smoking, that most people don't smoke cigarettes now like they used to.
Social media plays a huge part because, unfortunately, it's my theory that Kim Kardashian has butterfly affected this world into something never been, with just how vain people are. It's not always bad, but the procedures actors get done to look younger. People don't let their hair go gray. I dye my hair. I have gray hair. It's there's like this vanity in society. People obviously work out, they take care of themselves, skincare is a big thing. There's a lot of factors. Sure, smoking, but like I think it's much more than that.
Right. Well, I don't do any of those things.
You look young to me.
And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't look as old as this cop in a movie from 1982 where it looks like he's going to retire.
You're always going to look young to me. But God, yeah. Like, think about George Costanza. Just the way people present themselves.
George Costanza in season 1 is like 31 or 29 or something. And you look at him and it's like, how is that possible?
I was
like,
using the example of Frasier. Like, we're so much old. Like, when Frasier started, he was such a distinguished older man character.
yeah.
I think he was 38 or something. I don't know.
It's great. That's anyway.
The way people presented themselves was not thinking about looking young. Now I think because of social media and the pressure of seeing what everyone in the world looks like,
Yeah.
so much different, and we're all just trying to look young, I think. And yeah, that's very interesting about smoking. I've heard other things too, that millennials just look very young for their age. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so how did you feel about Sydney Sweeney's performance in this film?
Okay, great question. Love the question, because the first hour and the second hour are like two completely different movies, which you can relate to even better.
I agree.
The first hour, I don't think I thought too much about it. And I was kind of like, after the first hour, were you like, holy crap, it's only been an hour? I mean, you're in the theater, so you can't exactly. But it's a long movie. And then,
no, I actually, the movie flew by for me.
Oh, no, not for me at all. Maybe because I knew what was going to happen.
Right.
So anyways, Sydney's performance, she's getting a lot of flack online, and I think it's because of her public persona. I think people kind of think, I don't know how much you want to say, but I think people have this idea that she's like politically very right. So she's getting a lot of flack, and people are like, her performance is awful. I don't necessarily agree with that. For me, in the last third or quarter of the movie, I really liked her performance there. I don't know if we're going to get into that yet, but it was very subtle, but I liked it. It was like she was someone almost in a horror movie, and she really kind of toned down everything and got very calm. And I really liked that aspect of her performance. So for people who are saying Amanda was great and Sydney was terrible, I don't agree. I thought Sydney was really good in the last part of the movie. I really liked that. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the same thing. And like, I get it. It's very hard to, Sydney Sweeney does this American Eagle ad about great genes, and everyone's saying, it's a comparison to like white supremacy, which of course it's a play on. Right. Is this a play on white people have good genes, or is it Sydney Sweeney is beautiful because she has good? You know what I mean?
Like, kind of the same thing, and I don't blame people for hating her because of that.
Yeah, well, especially her lack of response, and then she did that interview and was like, "Well, I'll say something when I want to," and it's like, okay, like, so I'm in agreement with that. However, I also don't think that people's personal lives or personal beliefs, as abhorrent as they may be, have anything to do with their performance as an actor.
Right.
But I'm also not going to say to a person who's turned off by Sydney Sweeney and therefore doesn't like this performance, like, hey, just shut that part of your brain off. You know, like, what are the stakes here? A person has a problem with someone on a personal level, therefore they miss out on a fun movie. It's like, clearly that's not worth it. So, but I think that the movie doesn't do her any favors in that she is incredibly boring in the first part of the movie. Like, she is, the only time that she breaks in with any personality is when she does the little bits of narration.
Okay.
Because when she's talking to anyone else, it's all an act. Like, she's doing an act, and her act is, I'm a boring person.
Yes.
So it comes through as a very boring performance. Once her and Andrew go to the city, it's a little bit better. There's a little more motion in her engine, Then once it's like revealed, oh, Nina has selected a psycho to do a psycho's job. And then we cut back to her in the house, And yeah, it's like she's like the antagonist of a horror movie, and it is so good. I was like, this is awesome. Like,
we have agreed so much. I completely agree. I loved her performance in that whole segment.
Yeah. When she's like gravy boat, I love gravy, I didn't know they made these. And drops it. It's very stupid. And like I think, you know, for I'm not familiar with, you know, Freida McFadden's work, but I'm familiar with Paul Feig, and he is a very funny person, which by the way, we get a director cameo as she's flipping channels in the TV room. We stop on a movie that he was in for a little bit. So
I think I missed that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so there are a few really funny moments in this.
Yes.
I laughed out loud when Nina has accused her of scheduling the Broadway show in the hotel on the wrong day. And then Andrew comes home. He's like, it's fine. We'll reverse the charges. And Amanda Seyfried turns around. She's like, I don't think that's a thing. Yeah. And then just walks away. I busted out laughing. I was in a theater of women. Like, it was me and then a bunch of women. That was it. And I was guffawing at different things. I was going like, oh no, or like, what? Not on purpose. I wasn't trying to be obnoxious, but the movie just kept pulling these very loud responses out of me. As I left the theater, two older women said, well, everyone was just terrible. So who was I supposed to root for?
So hard.
And I was like, I don't know, man. It's a bad situation. But yeah, so I definitely think like a general audience going in with this baggage with Sydney Sweeney and then seeing this performance for the first part of the movie, it's a recipe for disaster.
Something that I love about Paul Feig is he does movies for women, I feel like. He's a man, obviously, but he's almost like a female director. I say that completely as a compliment. Like,
sure,
it's just these fun female movies. Women are at the forefront. It's stories about women. So I like how you said you were in a theater full of women because they know what they're getting. And that's why I was a little confused. Like, you're hiring Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she's the most male gaze person on the planet. But hey, it worked for what it was.
Yeah.
And I think she pulled off the end. So I'm excited to see, you know, what happens next.
Right. So on that note, Paul Feig has directed 12 feature films. After his second feature, which was Unaccompanied Minors from 2006, the Lewis Black.
Haven't seen that one yet.
Like airplane movie.
Yes. Christmas. Yes.
Yes. After that film, his last 10 films, top billing has been a woman.
Yes. I love that.
And I mean, like, you could look at Jackpot, which was 2024, Awkwafina and John Cena. That's like, you know, a two-hander man and woman, but every other one is they're centered on women, and that has to be a choice on his part. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
I think that something like that doesn't just happen randomly. I think you have to be purposed.
I think so.
Yeah, so that's very, very interesting. I will say, like, after watching The Housemaid, I'm curious to go back and watch A Simple Favor. Yeah, like I don't have anything against Anna Kendrick or Blake Lively. I just was like, I don't really know what this movie is.
I would say try it. And you said The Housemaid reminded you of 90s psychological thrillers. That's cool. The funny thing I wrote down was Amanda's performance being so over the top. I was like, oh, this is camp. It reminded me of like Bette Davis. Like, you know, people are really enjoying her performance. It was very like committed. And A Simple Favor, I think people enjoy. I don't want to say something negative. It's almost like fun, trashy, you know, like, but I'm saying this as a good thing. Like, stuff for women that's like Like, let's like really lean into the fun and like, you know, women getting along, women fighting. I mean, this is stuff women can relate to. It's like, it reminds me of like Soap Dish. I love to see movies about stuff like that. And A Simple Favor. Is it called Another Simple Favor?
Yeah, it's called Another Simple Favor, which is funny. Like, I didn't know that was coming, and then when I saw the title, I was like, even though I have no idea what these movies are, that's a really funny title. Like, if if I was pitching a movie and they're like, okay, and what's the title? I'd be like, Another Simple
Favor. The most genius idea. Yeah. That movie did not get, like I said, it did not get, people didn't seem to like it, but I liked it. Like, it's so campy. It's over the top. It's fun. I know you hate this cliche, and I love this cliche. Not every movie's trying to be Citizen Kane. Like,
yeah, no. I know. I don't hate that. I like that. I agree. I can't stand the idea that every movie has to be everything.
Yeah.
Like, someone will go see a movie and they'll be like, yeah, but you know, it wasn't that funny. And I'm like, well, was it trying to be? Or they'll go see a comedy and be like, well, yeah, but the whatever, like this part of it is missing. And it's like, right, but not every movie has all of the things that make movies great.
Yes.
That's why there's so many of them.
Yes, absolutely. And these movies like The Housemaid fill this particular niche.
Yeah.
So people see it and they're like I was talking to you about all those book adaptations that I love so much and I appreciate so much. A lot of, I don't know if it's that the person hasn't read the book. I think that could be part of it, but it's also that these are movies a lot of times about women, where women are the authors and women are the creators and sometimes the producers and sometimes the directors. And a lot of people are like, what is this movie? Who is this for? It's like, I love it. So it's definitely for someone out there, you know?
And I will fully admit to that. I mean, I literally just said, the whole thing with A Simple Favor, I was like, what is this? You know, like, what is this? And I don't only watch movies directed by men and for men, whatever.
I know.
And still that just completely escaped me. And it's because it's not for me, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that there's something to Sydney Sweeney's performance here. It's just all at the end.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned this will kind of remind you of an older movie. And I kept thinking of that with the house, you know, The Great House. There's a few really good locations within that house.
Yes.
I kept being frustrated because I think one of the strengths of older films are longer scenes.
Okay.
Where there's more like longer conversations, longer monologues, longer dialogues. Where this one felt like, okay, we've got the recipe, which is like two women in a house. One has a secret. The other one is crazy.
Right.
That sounds like a great movie, you know, from 1942.
Right.
But I thought that the dialogue and the writing wasn't quite there. Like I wanted scenes to go on longer. I wanted them to dig in more. When that happens, you know, she has her book the hotel and book the show. And then she comes outside and she's like, what is this? You know, you're crazy. Why did you schedule it? You know that I'm not going to, I was like, oh my God, like I feel sick. Like I feel like sick to my stomach. And then she was like, okay, well, it's going to come out of your pay. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Like this is like the worst thing that you could do to someone, you know, and she had already done that with, hey, make sure you pick up my daughter from ballet. Yep. And then being like, ugh, like, I told you not to do that. Like, and again, you know, I'm not going to say that I've been in this same situation, but I used to clean people's homes, you know, and sometimes the instructions are given.
Yes.
And you carry them out. And then it's like, well, I kind of wanted it. And it's like, everything is based on the person at the top's ability to communicate, not your ability to produce. So you'll produce, but because they didn't say something correctly, you did something quote unquote wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, this is the worst. This is the worst thing. Oh my God. Like, this is so horrible. And I wanted things to go on a little longer. So I would say like that was not even a frustration, just like you have all these good ingredients. Like let's sit with it for a little bit longer.
Meaning that you enjoyed the conflict and you wanted them to go a little deeper into those little conflicts?
Yeah, like I wanted them to draw out every awkward, horrible scene longer
I get
and make it more painful.
For me, it felt so long, and I don't even mean that in a bad way, but I think Paul had to do, and I'm not dismissing what you're saying at all, because I always think interpersonal conflict is great, interesting. People can carry it off. But there was so much, when book to movie,
Of
there
course,
is
yeah.
so much Paul had to do. I'm glad the movie flew by for you. After that first hour, I was like, my God, there's another. Holy.
Yeah.
Like, I felt full. And that's a good
Sure.
thing. I like when a movie makes me feel full. It felt very full.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the stories it told. So I feel like maybe he had to kind of fast forward those things that you liked so much. And they have to hit that hotel thing. That is so important in the movie.
Right.
They have to hit certain things. So unfortunately, action kind of had to take over those little conflicts that you love so much and that you can so deeply relate to. Yeah.
So on to Nina, Amanda Seyfried.
Right.
How did you feel about her performance?
So Amanda is very interesting. I think a lot of women my age have this relationship with her because of Mean Girls.
Sure.
And I've kind of followed her along. She was, I thought, fantastic in Mamma Mia. I mean, she was so beautiful. She can sing. I mean, you watch a movie like that. I didn't even love the movie. I was just like, what can this woman not do? My God. And then The Dropout is this television show based on Elizabeth Holmes and the Theranos controversy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
God. But I think it's like 10-episode miniseries. When I saw Amanda Seyfried star in The Dropout, I was like, this woman is a god. She's God. She's the god of acting. Like, she is so incredible in this show. I just want to say that. So, this movie is different. It requires a different type of acting. And it's a very particular type of performance. And like you said, sometimes she could be really funny. And her reactions to her husband were sometimes so funny. I love little subtle clips of like, she goes nuts, the husband tries to calm her down, and she's just like, okay. Like, those little things she's so good at. Sometimes people are not subtle when they should be, and I really appreciate that. It's hard for me because I worshipped her so much in The Dropout, so to see her do this campy, what I call Betty Davis type performance, it was a little confusing for me. But then when the reveal happened and she's jumping around her motel room singing to Kelly Clarkson, that's when I was like, okay, I love this movie now. Like, it was so exciting to me. It was so fun. Yes, it felt very Gone Girl. And I think, unfortunately, Gillian Flynn has created these, she's created these monsters. Like, so many authors have started to do this Gone Girl thing. Right. I don't even know if she was the first. I'm pretty ignorant about that. So, unfortunately, there's going to be an immediate comparison to that. Like, people are calling it Gone Girl Light. But I loved that reveal. I loved Amanda going free, and, you know, you get to see the other side. It's a very complicated performance, and I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, like I said, it was so over the top, just going from like, hi, I'm really nice and normal, to like, oh, hey, sorry, my house is a mess, which she doesn't even say sorry, by the way.
Right.
You know, go get started. I'm going to go upstairs, to just like full screaming, eyes bulging, veins popping. That was like, okay, we're not going to slowly build like dread of like something is wrong. It is like, we are immediately saying like something is very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Now, once the switch happens and you realize why, then it becomes like, oh, okay, so this was also like, we always get to see actors act, right? When we're watching a movie, they are always acting. It is an odd thing to get to watch two actors acting in a movie.
Interesting.
So Amanda Seyfried as Nina is acting. And
Yeah.
we realize in the second half of the movie that Nina has a totally separate personality, just like Millie does.
Yeah.
Has a totally separate personality. And the voice in her head that's narrating is different from the voice with which she speaks to Nina and all of that stuff. So in terms of like just a different facet to movie making and acting, I think that this is worth it. But again, you have to stay engaged for an hour before any of that stuff happens.
Right.
And if you're not into it, then it will feel lame and cheap. But I'm with you on Amanda Seyfried. Like, obviously, Mean Girls, very funny, really good.
Yeah.
I want to shout out a movie that I almost never get to shout out. 2012, The End of Love, directed by Mark Webber, starring Mark Webber.
Wow.
It is a movie about young actors, love, being a father, etc., etc. But we've got Amanda Seyfried, Jason Ritter, Michael Cera, Aubrey Plaza, Michael Angarano, who's like one of my favorites, Jake Johnson, Alia Shawkat. So if all of those names aren't enough for you guys, I don't know what will be, but you should watch this movie. Very good, very underrated.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, check it out. It's called The End of Love. But anyway, she's in that. She's very good. But then you already mentioned Mamma Mia, Jennifer's Body, which is just one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I love her in Les Mis. She is unreal in First Reformed. Have you seen First Reformed with her?
No, sorry.
It is worth it for her.
Okay.
Like, kind of like how you were saying about The Dropout, which I haven't seen yet, but I don't watch TV, but I will watch that. If it's a miniseries, I'll watch a miniseries.
Wow. Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. But First Reformed, you will be like, I've never seen anyone do this before.
Oh, wow.
She is so good in it. And, she's playing opposite Ethan Hawke, who's obviously really great, right? It's a Paul Schrader film, so of course it's about a tortured man. And she just comes in and like, she just mops the floor with everyone. Like everyone. She mops the floor with the material, with him. It's great. I really recommend that movie for her. So I love her. And so seeing her in this, I just had a good time.
Right.
It's kind of like when you see Meryl in Mamma Mia.
Right.
It's like, not the greatest singer in the world, but I like seeing you like this. Like there's parts of Mamma Mia that make me tear up just because, it's Meryl Streep pushing open a window and singing out, or like climbing a ladder and being silly. Like, I think that there are these actors that we endear ourselves to. And so it's fun to see them in different scenarios.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So like for her, like after doing The Dropout and whatever, like, I don't want to say, I am going to say it because I think that that's what people are thinking she's doing. Like to see her quote unquote lowering herself into like this type of movie when she doesn't have to, because it's below her skill level or what she's capable of doing. Who cares? This is fun. Like it's a fun performance.
It's very interesting you say that. Another thing she did recently was a show called Long Bright River, which is like a cop procedural. It's like, have you heard of Mare of Easttown?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's like her version of Mare of Easttown. It obviously was not as popular and critically acclaimed because everyone loves Kate Winslet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it was like, I think, let's just say it was about maybe Baltimore. It's like a very grimy show. She's obviously trying to do something very different. And yeah, people would say, wow, you've been in Mamma Mia and Les Mis. Like, why are you doing this? It was a very weird seeming choice, but I think it's clear she doesn't care, or she just wants to take work wherever she can get it. And maybe it's hard to find work, because I listen to a lot of podcasts with people like Reese Witherspoon, who she's constantly producing stuff for women because she said it's really hard to find good roles. Nicole Kidman talks about this. Like, I don't think it's necessarily that easy for a woman like Amanda Seyfried. It should be like blonde, hot Hollywood, but she's already middle-aged, as I am. I hate to say it. And you know, I think she's just willing to do whatever, and she just wants to take whatever weird acting challenge she can get, because all of these things don't really connect. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's great. I think it's good because then we get fun movies like that.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't
Okay.
picture her in it either, but you know.
Right. Okay. Brandon Sklenar.
I was gonna ask you about this too.
Yeah, man, this is horrible. You know, I feel bad. Normally, I'm much better about knowing people's names, but this one, oh well. Now I think this is the first. Oh no, I saw Emily the Criminal with him. Clearly, he didn't make a big impression.
I don't even remember him in that,
but. But yeah, this is the first like really big thing. Now I have seen this guy's name fan casted for Batman, like the new Batman and the James Gunn whatever is happening.
Yeah, I saw that.
And there's a scene in this movie where they're out to dinner in Manhattan and he is wearing like a black turtleneck, and I just bust out laughing because I was like, do you think that Brandon went to Paul Feig and was like, look, I would really like to be the next Batman. You think at any point when I'm doing something fancy, I could be wearing a black turtleneck?
I didn't put that together. That's
because I was like, this is like, it's just a scene from a Batman movie where Bruce Wayne is out on a date. But anyway, this guy fooled me completely. You know, when you go into any kind of thriller, at least I do, like I'm like, who did it? You know, like everyone. I'm looking at the gardener. I'm looking at the mom that we meet. I'm just like, somebody did it, right?
Right.
And when you first meet the husband, I was like, okay, well, clearly he's a psycho, right? But then over the course of the movie, I was like, wait a minute. Oh no, I think actually he is actually nice. So he totally fooled me.
Right.
Well, how did you feel about him as Andrew?
I know him primarily from It Ends With Us, which is another one of those book to movie stuff for women, starring Blake Lively, and he was the like her best friend from childhood. He had a really big role in that one, so that's what I know him from. And I thought he did a really good job because he is with these two women, Sydney, who's so big in the media right now, and Amanda, who's like kind of a powerhouse actor. And I think he really held his own. And like you said, he had to play a difficult role. And I think he did a good job. I was really happy with him. Again, I think it's funny that these people are the young, hot, Hollywoodized version of what I'm picturing from a book. But that's the way the world works. Like, I did not picture the guy looking like that. I feel like in the movie he looks like Stanley Kowalski, like super hot. Like, wow. So it's really funny to me, but hey, he did a good job, so I can't complain. I think he did great.
Yeah, he definitely has a presence. He definitely has a magnetism, you know. He can stand there and just like he's hardly moving.
Right.
You know, he's like calculating in his mind, but nothing is showing on his face.
Good point.
And yet we're still kind of like, you know, drawn to him. And I wonder if it's this thing of you're in a glass house, like everything is so nice, everything is so expensive, and literally like later in the movie, like a plate breaks, you know. And so it's like with all three of these characters, you kind of like, I felt on edge in the house. I did not feel comfortable, you know? Like, you know, when you go to someone's house and it's like, oh, I know not to like touch anything or I don't know, like breathe wrong, you know, because their house.
Something.
Yeah. But then you go to other places and it's like, oh, everything is very comfortable here.
Yeah.
Like I did not feel comfortable in that house. And especially from his character, it felt like a bull in a china shop that was just waiting to be angered, you know. But he definitely fooled me once it turns, I did like, the 2 times when he's the one behind the door and he's telling the women what to do. And it's like, pulling 100 hairs out of your head with the follicle attached.
Yeah.
That is psycho.
Yeah.
Like psycho. It's
Yeah.
not particularly violent. It's very painful, of course, but like then when he comes back and he's like, "Oh, you have to start again." I was like, "Yo,
Ugh.
this is like the most messed up thing I think I've ever seen
Yeah.
do."
Yeah.
Then he just goes from 0 to 100 with Sydney Sweeney, where he's like, "You have to cut 21 lines into your stomach." I was like, "Okay, like this is nutso."
Yeah.
But I think that it's like a very, very magnified look at what, I won't limit it to men because I think that controlling people come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
But what controlling men do sometimes on a daily basis of like, "Hey, look, I'm just trying to help you." Or like, you don't have to come out and say, "I'm trying to help you have a better life." When you blow up over something, you teach the person that you're blowing up on, "Hey, if you want your life to be better, don't do X, Y, and Z." And so I think men are trying to control and conform their environment through a lot of different means. And so to have a character like this who just comes out and says it, but isn't like, "I'm going to cut you up into little pieces." Like his follow-up is, "We're going to be happy and you're going to have a great life. Like you're going to be the trophy wife of the dude that everyone wants to be and all the women want to sleep with. And I have all this money and you like me. And so the outcome of this is going to be your happiness." Like, I thought it was fascinating to have that on display. And it is very heightened.
Yeah.
And it becomes a horror movie, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
But we know that horror movies in their heightened state are good at communicating social issues and social
Absolutely.
problems. So I really liked that. I don't know. I really, really liked it.
Something that was cool for me as someone who read the book, they did some changes there. And maybe it was because logistically some things were hard to film. But I, as someone who hates to be spoiled, I loved getting some surprises. Like, ooh, this is not exactly how it was in the book, but it was true enough that it felt very respectful. But they did some twists and turns on those punishments that he was giving. And there was one where in the book, he makes Millie put huge tomb books on her stomach and then like lets her stomach be bruised over and then so they changed that stuff.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's all straight from, like, the idea is all from the book. Yeah.
Oh God.
I like how you made me think about how it's a kind of extrapolation of controlling people. That's really interesting. I don't remember if that occurred to me while reading. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and then we see it at the end of the movie with his mom, and I think we're supposed to get the impression that she did this to him.
Yeah.
Growing up, and so he thinks, "Oh, this is how you."
But I was a little confused by all that because she seemed to not even be bothered that he was gone. What do you think? And yet we're supposed to see her as the person who created him. If you created him and you're so obsessed with him and you think he's so great, why are you not more concerned with what happened to your son? I feel like that part confused me.
Yeah.
It would make sense if she knew how he was and was happy he was gone. Instead, it was almost like, what? She created him? That I didn't get.
Yeah. She seems suspicious, definitely.
Okay.
And she's still judging. Like she said, this is how you let her dress to her father's funeral.
Right.
Her composure could be because they're in a social setting and there are expectations of her
Right.
as the, she's filling whatever role she has to,
Hmm.
because they're psychos and that's what they do. Like they don't show emotion. They just fill the role they're supposed to. But I agree. Like I was waiting. Elizabeth Perkins plays Evelyn Winchester. And it was like, I saw her and I was like, I know who this is, but it's like, I can't quite place who it is. And then it clicked like part of the way through the movie. And I was like, oh my God, wow. She looked great with white hair. I don't know what you thought, but
I don't remember, but that was one thing that and also, especially Sydney, some of the cast really mumbles. So it's like, that was too ambiguous for me. That's one thing that was too ambiguous for me. It's like, first of all, enunciate. Second of all, I didn't get what they were trying to show. Maybe better explained in the book, and I just have a horrible memory. But maybe, well, who knows? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably leave out pretty much everything with his mom, other than her showing up and being like, here's this really nice china.
Yeah.
Because that sets that up.
Exactly.
But I do think they're trying to show, abuse across, generations.
Right.
Because their daughter says juice is a privilege.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be drinking out of a dirty glass.
That I picked up on. And her little dolls.
Right.
The dolls are foreshadowing.
Right. So you see that like Andrew has been doing this with the daughter.
Absolutely.
Maybe not to the same degree that he did it with his wife, but
and at one point she tells Millie, you shouldn't do this or something. She's almost like warning her at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked him though. I thought that he was good. I could not, every time they were banging their shoulders up against that door, I was like, oh, like I could just feel it. I was like, please, everyone stop.
Oh, sorry. Did you say Enzo? I missed that.
No, every time anyone was locked in the room, they would be like throwing their shoulder against the door. And I was like, that just looks incredibly painful.
What's funny about that is in the book, it's supposed to be the most horrifying room to live in. Meanwhile, in the movie, again, it's this beautifully architecturally designed like triangle. It's so funny.
Yeah, I was like, this looks pretty great. I mean, I could be in there for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned him, Enzo.
Sorry, yeah.
I just was every time this guy came on the screen, I was just laughing so much because I was like that's just so tropey. Like, oh, the gardener, who's just always around. Meanwhile, it's winter time.
Was it?
Yeah, it's just so like funny. Snow on the ground all the time. It's like,
that's so
I don't think he would be there full time year round, but what do I know? Yeah, how did you feel? Enzo the gardener.
So I warned you that I had so much to say because, okay, in the book, Enzo has such a pivotal role. And if you see the movie, you would not know that. He was cut completely out of the picture. And they hire this young hunk, this super sexy guy. Again, he was in Another Simple Favor. He's like the new hot Italian guy in Hollywood, I guess. And Paul really likes him. So when you're reading the book, it's like I'm not a housewife, but it's for women like me. It's for like housewives or like women of a certain age who like just want to get escapism in the book. And they describe him as this super sexy Italian guy. And there's so much detail and you keep fan casting like, who's gonna be this hot Italian? I'm so excited. And then they don't even use him. He's supposed to be so important. I don't know what the thinking was there. And then you and I discussed, I think it was before we started the pod, that it's already been greenlit for a sequel, which is great. Mm-hmm. But Enzo has such a big role. Why did they not let him prep in this movie for what should happen in the second movie if they're going to be faithful? I don't know what they were thinking. They didn't give this guy anything to do. Like you said, you kept giggling because this guy's just lurking. Mm-hmm. That's not what he does in the book. In the book, it's so different. There's so much complexity there. And he speaks Italian and he doesn't even speak English. And then later you realize he does speak English. And it's so interesting. but they just cut it all out. So it was that was my one big disappointment with this movie.
Yeah. So when I saw the news that it was greenlit, because this made a ton of money.
Good.
Like
Yeah.
over 100 million, I think.
I'm
and
so happy to hear that.
The budget was like 35 or something. You know,
that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So
movie world.
Yeah. So it was greenlit because of the money, obviously, because the reviews, like you said, have been mixed to tepid at best. But I saw it said Sydney Sweeney will reprise her role, and Michelle Marone.
So they mention him.
Is also returning.
Okay.
And I was like, who is that? Yeah. And then I had to go to Letterboxd and look up the cast. And when I saw that it was Enzo returning, I busted out laughing. I was like, okay. Because to me, as the movie watcher, I'm like, he didn't do anything. Like,
I know.
Like, why is he like? He does do a couple of things, right? But that would be like if they said Home Alone 2 has been greenlit. Macaulay Culkin is returning, and the guy who plays, the shovel grandpa, will also return. It's like,
or like the guy who runs the toy store or something.
Right, yeah. It's like, why? Like, why even have another person?
Duncan, I just listened to your episode about this. And you were
Duncan's toy chest.
You were like Duncan, and Michelle was like, "Hey, I love Duncan," right? I think that's what happened anyway.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made fun of him, and Michelle.
So, like, Sydney returns, and of course Enzo, and you're like, "Who? What?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's what annoys me. It's like, I love Paul, but like, why did you shrink his role? Ugh.
Yeah, like you said, probably for time.
Yeah.
But
to get the sequel and to know he's done sequels before, it's not like he hasn't heard of this. So I feel like he should have sprinkled more Enzo in preparation for the next movie, because and just the fact that he's supposed to be so sexy, and all the story is that all the women in the neighborhood are constantly coming around and flirting with him, and like, this is what I mean, women like me love shit like that. Like, yeah, bring it on. And instead it's like, they concentrated on all these other things where it's like, okay, I don't know. That I was so excited for the whole Enzo angle, and it was just gone.
Yeah. So, yeah. We'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
In Still the Housemaid, the sequel coming.
Another
another The Housemaid.
I'm so glad that he was at least mentioned in the press release. So hey, he got a job. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
And I mean, this movie is 2 hours and 11 minutes. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. So yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well. The hotel scene. I thought the whole Manhattan scene was great. They were so stupid for, like, of course she's gonna text them and call. Like, she's just at like a kid's camp. You know what I mean? Like. So
I would love to hear what you think about this, what you thought in the theater, because you haven't read the book, so you had no idea it was coming. Like, yeah, what did you think? Was it so fast to you? Was it shocking? Like, I don't know. It seemed
their relationship becoming physical.
Like you said, there could have been more build up, I feel like. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think that I think the whole movie could have used some more build up.
Okay.
Like in all of the relationships, but everything has to kind of move quickly. So, okay, whatever. But I thought it was good. And I even really liked how it's like Andrew knows that Nina is onto them ish, or at least she's really mad at Millie. They still go through with hooking up. Yeah. And then the next day they're kind of both like, I'm fine, whatever. Like, it's not a big dramatic, like this changes. They're both just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's not until he kicks out Nina and then they have the follow-up conversation where she's like, I'll leave. And he's like, no, just stay. I like you. And she's like, oh, okay. I hate in movies when people hook up or they have their first kiss and then suddenly, in the next scene, it's like, I can't live without you. I've never. I mean, he does say he's like, I don't know if I've ever felt this way about anyone.
Right.
But it didn't feel. It felt grounded. Like it didn't feel
Okay.
like melodramatic, I guess.
Okay.
In either of their performances, it just felt like conscious decisions. Like they made a decision to hook up and cheat. They made a decision to, why don't you stay and let's see where this goes. And that felt realistic to me.
I wanted to hear what you thought for sure, because watching it, even though I knew it was going to happen, I was like, damn, I don't know. Like, wow. Maybe because the book, you get the whole build up and, oh, I should never do this. He's my boss. And in the movie, they're just showing it.
Yeah. So. Well, we had 3 movies of 50 Shades of Grey, so we're done with that. And then let's see. We already talked about a couple of the torture scenes, which is crazy.
People compared it to Saw, and not like I could ever get through Saw, but that's so funny. People were like, "Ooh, it's like Saw but for women," or like, I don't know. People.
Yes, it becomes Saw. It's like, hey, do you want to play a game? Pull 100 hairs out of your head.
My God.
But I liked it. Like I love genre because it's like the warm bath that you can slip into. You know, it's like, okay, I know I'm watching a noir film.
Right.
So when someone does something a little ridiculous, it fits in that style. I'm fine.
Right.
But I also love like exploring the boundaries of genre and messing with them and overlapping them. And I thought he did it well. Like I thought the transitions were effective. Like I didn't feel like, oh, now I'm getting whiplash or
okay, good.
Tonally, this is off. I thought it worked.
I have no idea what I would think if I hadn't read the book, because that would have been a shock. But I wonder, I tend to like Paul's movies, so maybe I just would have rolled with it. I don't know. Yeah. But I, as someone who's pretty squeamish, I was still, because I guess I knew what was coming and everything. I still felt it all fit and it all, it was organic enough. So I wasn't turned off or anything. I mean, it got pretty graphic. Jeez. Like I said, they changed some of the punishments. So it's like, wow. But yeah, it like I said, I really liked Sydney's performance. So maybe that helped me like ground it.
Right. Yeah, because it is fun. Like it's comical. Like, and also you've seen Andrew do all this horrible stuff now.
Yeah.
So when the tables are turned, you're like, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, when she starts pouring gasoline under his door, I was like, oh, she's just gonna burn the whole house down. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
You start for her. Yeah.
Is there anything that we did not mention that you wanted to talk about?
I think we pretty much talked about everything. I'm glad I got my Enzo rant in. That's my camera.
Right.
And I really just want to reiterate that I love Freida's books. Like, I was completely addicted. When is the last time I've bought 20 books from the same author? It's crazy. And it was all just because of a press release that said The Housemaid will star blah blah blah. It's like, it's the excitement of, oh, now I want to read this book so I can be in the know and watch this movie. And I had a great time with the whole thing. So yeah, I was really satisfied. And I love these types of book adaptations. I love that people are making them that kind of like a really women-based. I know the director's a man, but like the author's a woman, 2 stars are women, Yeah, so I was really happy with the whole thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it was written for the screen by a woman as well, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's great. Wow, good for Paul. I mean, he really puts out and it's not like they're ever like in Oscar contention or anything. I think Blake Lively did a fantastic job in Another Simple Favor. She was one of my favorite performances of that year. But, he still stubbornly sticks to his female genre movies. I love that. Like, obviously Ghostbusters got a lot of hate, which was not due. And, but yeah, he sticks with his people. He works with Melissa McCarthy a couple times, and this guy, Michelle Morone, he's already done 2 movies with. And yeah, like he really sticks to his guns on that. And I love that.
Yeah. The Ghostbusters thing was like, Whenever the backlash to something is like monumental,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you know there's like an agenda behind it.
Absolutely.
Because no one is that mad that long.
It's so disproportionate. It was so
right. Disproportionate is the exact word.
I keep thinking of the analogy of Ocean's 8 because it's almost the same damn thing. Like Ocean's 11 happened in 2001. It was all men and one woman. Then they did Ocean's 8 with all women. There was no outcry at all, I don't think. And it's the same damn thing.
Right.
But there were particular people, like right-wing activists, who decided Ghostbusters is going to be our thing. We're going to mount this huge campaign. We're going to make sure some of these actors get death threats. Like, it was insane. But where was the same proportionate outcry for Ocean's 8? Like, they do female remakes left and right, but this one was so calculated. So, yeah.
It's because Ocean's 11 didn't have a fun tie-in song that people play every Halloween. That's the difference, I think.
Yeah, Gary Ross doing Ocean's 8 kind of reminds me of Paul Feig's types of movies. It's so awesome. Like, yeah, it would be great if more female directors got chances to do these pictures. I always think that. But hey, all love for these men who are like, hey, I'm going to cast my movie with all women and you can all deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
So I love movies like that. I get so excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, if you were excited listening to this episode, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you are listening. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Now, listen, I know that if you're out there and you're listening to this episode, you have thoughts on The Housemaid. So please send us an email. Let us know what you thought, good or bad. Hey, if you think we're way off base, we want to know. Seriously, send us an email. We just like talking about movies. We don't like, just being agreed with. So moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Look, folks, the world is being taken over by machines and evil people, okay? And this show, it brings you hours of enjoyment. It brings you fun, education. It's the best part of your week, okay? And for the cost of one banana, you can support an independently made podcast talking about movies. That's right, folks. Patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. You get to vote on upcoming movies. You get access to our Patreon-only Discord. You get ad-free episodes. You get additional episodes, all that stuff. But really, you get to stick it to the man, okay? And put your money where it matters. Okay. Anyway, Melissa, thank you so much for bringing this movie to my attention, first of all, and then second, coming on and talking with me about it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad you liked it. Can I please ask what you rated it?
So on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this a very solid 4.
I'm so happy. And can you guess what I rated it?
5 stars.
I did.
Yeah, I 4 stars. I think it's fun. I think just let go, watch it. It's fun, whatever. It's a thrilling time. It's a fun time. You're in, you're out. You get a teaser for a next movie. When that happened, I just like put my hands in the air and I was like, okay, whatever, man. But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And hey, thank you very much for listening. Until next time, have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.